Hey guys! Today I am going to talk to you about something that I worry about and that I know some of you will be worrying about, and that is how to keep your stuff safe. So I've got a list of 10 ways that you can keep your stuff safe while travelling, and I'm going to run through all of them with you. The first one is to use the hostel lockers. Most hostels will have lockers and you may probably need your own padlock for them. I always travel with my little TSA padlock. It's got a little code instead of a key, so I'm not likely to lose the key at any point. I can always get into it. I'll give you a close-up. And that's what I use for my hostel lockers. I bought a pack of, I think it was 3 off of Amazon. If I mention any products, I'll pop the links down in the description box in case you're interested. And they're what I use for both the lockers and also for something else that I'm going to mention shortly. So hostel lockers are a great place to put your passport, your electronics, anything really of any value that you don't need to carry around on you all of the time. Number 2, always be aware of your surroundings. So this is just a bit of a common sense one, in the same way that you would keep yourself safe. Always keep an eye out for what's around you. Don't go walking in places that look really dodgy on your own at night or badly lit places. That's more personal safety. But in terms of keeping your things safe, if you're in an area that doesn't feel all that comfortable to walk around in, perhaps you're just not sure of the place, don't pull out expensive gadgets, your phone, iPods, things like that, cameras. Just don't risk it. And one of the ways that I sort of try and judge this, because I probably break this rule more than most of you would, because I'm vlogging, I've always got my camera there, and I have got a sort of sense of who's around me and what's around me, but there are times when I really do think, should I have this out here? So for you guys, pay attention to this rule. It's more of a do as I say, not as I do. And the best way to judge it is have a look at other people. Are there other people on their phones? You know, if half of the street is on their phones, it's probably going to be absolutely fine for you to pull yours out. But just always keep your eyes peeled and just listen to your intuition. You will know if somewhere is not where you want to be pulling out expensive things. Also, on a side note with this one, it's not always the people you need to worry about. Look out for the wildlife. Monkeys in particular, oh, they're amazing creatures, but they are little shits. They really are. Ubud Monkey Forest, I had nothing on me for them to grab because I'd heard so many stories of them having cameras, sunglasses, water bottles, anything. So if you're around monkeys and you don't want to lose your stuff, either have it securely in a bag, and they can open bags, they can get in there, or just don't take it with you. Beware of the wildlife as well. Number 3, don't take sentimental or expensive items with you if you really don't need them. For me, I have to take my laptop, my camera, all of that stuff because of what I do. But if you don't think you're going to really use it, and you can get away with using internet cafes or hostel computers, and you just don't really want the risk of it, just don't take it in the first place. If you're really thinking you're going to be heartbroken about losing something, it's so much better that it stays at home. And if you do take something with you that is sentimental or expensive and you're concerned about losing it or it getting stolen, always make sure that you have got travel insurance that covers it. And some travel insurance only goes up to a certain limit on a certain number of items, so always read that part in detail. And if you've got a piece that isn't going to be covered by your travel insurance and you can't take out a separate article limit on it, get a specific equipment insurance. So say it's an expensive camera, get a camera insurance specifically for that item. Number 4, the lighting is not good. Bear with me. There we go, that's much better. Okay, so number 4, protecting your passport. Your passport is so important. Yes, you can get things sorted at embassies, but do you really want the hassle? Probably not. So always make sure that your passport is either locked up in like a hostel locker or on you at all times. Don't just have it laying around. Really, just it's one of those two, locked away or on your person, and you will be the judge of what's best for you. There's no right or wrong necessarily. I know that I prefer it locked in a hostel locker because I worry that I'm just going to leave my bag or lose it somewhere, or it's going to fall out when I'm getting my camera out. So that will be a personal choice. As I've explained in videos before, I definitely recommend having paper copies in various locations as well as a digital backup, so a scan of it on your computer, email it to yourself, use Dropbox if you want, but have a digital version available so that if you do lose it at any point or it gets lost or stolen, that you can get it sorted much more easily. Number 5, don't leave stuff laying around in hostel rooms. Like, as I said in the first point, put it in the locker if it's something important, sentimental or valuable. Just don't tempt people. You will probably find that you really do end up trusting the backpackers that are in your room, and that's fine. However, what if one of them suddenly moves out whilst you're out for the day and a new person comes in that maybe isn't so trustworthy? It's just not worth it. Just lock it up, and that way you'll know for sure that it's going to be safe. Generally speaking, backpackers are pretty much a trustworthy bunch and they're very unlikely to take anything, but when people are in hard situations or really low on cash and there's something laying right in front of them, it is a temptation, so don't put it right there. And also, it's not always backpackers. Some hostels and other accommodation have lots of staff that come in and clean the rooms and everything, and again, it's very unlikely that these staff would take anything because it's not worth losing their job over. However, you don't know people's personal situations and it's just better to keep it out of eyesight. Okay, number 6, at the beach. So this is a tricky one if you're a solo traveller, because obviously you're going to want to have a nice swim in that water, but you're going to have to leave your stuff on the sand. Or similarly, if you're traveling with a friend or a partner, maybe you both want to have a swim at the same time. You don't want to take it in turns. So there's a few things that you can do at the beach to look after your stuff. The first rule with this one is only take what you need. If you're taking money with you, only really take what you need, just enough for a drink or an ice cream or to hire kayaks or whatever. Just literally what you think you're going to need for the time that you're there. If you want to take photos of the beach, try and do it another day. Maybe just go down for the sole purpose of doing that. Don't leave expensive stuff just laying around if you can avoid it, and especially things like your passport and other things that really you don't need with you right then. If for some reason you cannot avoid it and you have to take important or valuable belongings with you, try and hide them in bags under your towel, or, you know, just in your stuff somewhere. Don't make it easy for someone to just walk past and grab. You could also ask someone sitting nearby, maybe there's another group of backpackers or a family or someone to look after your things, but that's going to be up to you on how much you trust this random group of strangers, but that is always an option. If you do have to leave your stuff whilst you go for a dip in the beautiful water, try to make sure that you can see it at all times, so it's easy to just look up the beach and keep an eye roughly on it every so often. You can use like a coloured marker, so maybe if you've got a brightly coloured beach towel, or like I have my dry bags which are bright yellow and orange, just to make it easier for me to have a quick glance and check that everything's still okay. There are also some other things available that you could take to the beach to hide things in, but I'm going to come to that a little bit later. Number 7, on long journeys. The lighting. Oh, sun, why must you do this? So this can be a tricky one. If you're on an overnight bus or an overnight train, you obviously want to keep your stuff safe whilst you're asleep. So the easiest way to do this is to keep all expensive, valuable items with you, including any money or passport. Never put any of those things either under a bus or in like a public storage area that you can't keep a really close eye on. It's always better just to have them like in your carry-on bag with you, so that you can literally go to sleep cuddling them, knowing that hopefully no one's going to be able to get a hold of them whilst you're sleeping. If you get off of the transport for a rest stop, or for example you stop at a station and there's a chance to buy stuff, as some sort of trains in some countries do, always take those valuables with you. Even when we were on the Greyhound buses in Australia, I never left my bag on the bus at a rest stop. I always had it with me because it's just not worth the risk. Number 8, padlock your bags. This is why I had a pack of 3 of these little babies, because I use them for more than just the hostel lockers. And although a padlock on its own won't really stop someone getting into your bag if they're determined, it acts as a deterrent. If you're a thief that, generally speaking, is an opportunist thief, most thieves are, you're far less likely to target a bag that's got a padlock on it than one that doesn't. So that is why I always suggest padlocking your bags. Number 9 is for the ladies. So if you've got a handbag or a sort of day bag that's a bit handbag-like, I don't really know what to call it, make sure that it's got a strap that goes across your body, and make sure that it's also got a zip on the bag. Don't make it easy for pickpockets to get their hand in the side. Make sure the zip goes fully across, just so there's no gaps for that. If you're somewhere where there's a lot of motorbikes and scooters, or that's well known for sort of snatch theft, make sure that the actual bag itself is on the opposite side of the road, so that someone's going past on a scooter, they can't just grab it off of you, or someone even on the pavement just can't get it off your shoulder. That's why you want that cross strap. And number 10, there are a range of clever gadgets that you can use to help keep your stuff safe, and I've got a few bits very briefly to show you. It's entirely up to you as to how you want to keep your stuff safe. You do need a padlock for hostel lockers, but otherwise, generally speaking, it's a really personal choice, and it will depend on what you've got with you. I bought you might have seen this previously. I bought a pack safe when I was going to Australia. I didn't need it. I didn't use it. It was heavy. I posted it home. However, I am possibly thinking about taking it with me to Southeast Asia. If you've not seen one of them before, all it is like a little exo mesh skeleton that goes around a backpack, and you can attach it securely to an immovable object like a pole or something. Now, these are a great idea, but they are heavy, and I don't really know how much you need them, but it is an option, which is why I'm telling you about it. They also have a range of other products like little safes and stuff. You can head over to their website to have a look at those, and I'll pop a link down below for the one I got from Amazon. Money wallets and money belts. Some of them are horrific, and I'm pretty sure if I had bought a traditional one, I never would have used it. What I did get was this little money clip, which you can see more on in my July travel hauls video. And all it is this little pouch, which has a zip. Which you put your money in, and it just clips inside of your trousers so that it's hidden, and you can have backup cash or cards in that. This for me was a way better option than a money belt, but again, personal choice and preference. Something else I have seen that I've never used, and I don't know if anyone has, is either empty lip balms or sun cream bottles to hide cash in or other valuables at the beach. And I can see why people use them. I'll pop a picture up for you of the idea. My general feeling with this is that you shouldn't really be taking so much that you need to use one, but it is a handy and clever way of keeping things hidden at the beach if you need to. For electronics, so laptops and phones, there is a program called Prey, which you can download to your gadgets, and it's essentially a tracking program. So if your laptop gets stolen, it has like a little GPS typey thing that when the laptop turns on, it gives the location. Now, it does mean the laptop has to be turned on. I'll pop a link to Prey's website down below with a much better explanation than I'm giving you right now, but it is a way that you can keep tabs on electronics, and it can run in the background so that a thief wouldn't even know that the program was on the computer. People have managed to track electronics down using it, and there was a really funny story. If I can find it, I'll link it down below for you, of a guy who had his laptop taken, and literally, oh, it was brilliant. Like, I hope I could come up with something this amazing. He monitored the people using his laptop for a good amount of time until he had some interesting stories on them that he basically blackmailed them with, and he got his laptop back. So if I can find that story, I'm going to link it down below, and that is another option for keeping gadgets and electronics safe. So I really hope this video's helped. I am somebody that is really paranoid with my stuff, mainly because I don't have the income or the resources to buy new stuff if it gets lost, broken or stolen. Cameras and laptops and all of the stuff I use for my vlogging and my blog, they're not cheap. So that's why I'm personally a little bit protective and paranoid. The level of care that you take to keep your stuff safe is going to be entirely up to you, but these are some of the ways that I think are good and that I think you would be able to utilise in your own travels. If you've got any questions, please just drop them down below in the comments and I will do my very best to answer them. In the meantime, I am available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I've got my blog, and I'm also on Pinterest. So until next time guys, much love, take care, bye! Now if you're travelling, it is a highly likely chance that at some point while you're away you will feel some form of homesickness. And this comes in varying degrees. Like some people just get a little bit every now and again.